All right, John, today the task force investigating the assassination attempt of Donald Trump held its first hearing.
Yeah, on the first of his two assassination attempts. Today's hearing focused on testimony from local and state law enforcement who were at the July 13th rally in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Erie News Now, Washington, D.C. correspondents Rachel Knapp and Brendan Scanlon are live on Capitol Hill, where the hearing wrapped up earlier this afternoon. Rachel and Brendan, good evening.
Good evening, Mike and Eva. So I was inside the committee room during that hearing today. You can just feel the intensity from congressional members on both sides of the aisle, because just how passionate and how upset they all are about what happened on that day, as well as some of the members being interviewed or testifying on the panel. They're all very upset about what happened. But there's a few kind of main key takeaways from this hearing. There weren't really too many big bombshells out of today's hearing, but they really discussed things that we already kind of knew, like things like communication issues between the Secret Service and local law enforcement agencies. Also, the site where the shooter was based at, that was not part of the perimeter, the protected perimeter. But again, some of the key takeaways from today's hearing was that this is really ultimately up to the Secret Service to make sure that these sites are safe and protected. So members on both sides of the aisle, Brendan, they're the ones really kind of pointing the finger at Secret Service for what happened on that day.
That's right. Mike and Eva, the task force heard from a former Secret Service agent as well as local and state law enforcement who are all present for that shooting on July 13th. They all gave a rundown as to what goes into planning these types of events, the security measures, and really the coordination with the Secret Service. Now, the task force is chaired by Northwest Pennsylvania Congressman Mike Kelly, who is still trying to piece together how the former president took the stage and remained on stage despite a potential security risk. Take a listen.
But I still can't understand, of all the different people that were on the grounds that day, thousands of people, there's only one consistent person that they identify, and it is ultimately the shooter. So I don't believe the grounds were safe and secure that day. I'm just trying to understand is what it was or what it would have taken for somebody to say, keep Mr. Trump inside until we clear this up.
And Mike and Eva, today's hearing comes one day after the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee released a pretty scathing 94-page report that really outlined several planning, communications, and security failures by the U.S. Secret Service, including lack of a chain of command, inadequate resources and equipment, a failure to effectively secure the site, and poor coordination with state and local law enforcement, which is pretty consistent, Rachel, with what we heard earlier today.
That's right. But despite these two assassination attempts, the former president does have plans to make his way back to Butler, Pennsylvania in early October. According to his campaign, he's going to be there to honor the life of the firefighter who died during that first assassination attempt. But really, again, this task force is also going to be looking into more detail that second assassination attempt, which happened just outside of former president's home out in Florida. But for now, reporting live in Washington, D.C., I'm Rachel Knapp.
I'm Brendan Scanlon. Mike and Eva, back to you.